Let's dive into it today. We're going to be doing a breakdown of Canton Network and understanding a little bit more about what they are doing. It's going to be a good one, so stick around for that. I do want to thank our sponsor today, and that, of course, is Tangem. This is where you guys can get into self-custody. One way to do that is just start. Whether you're brand new to crypto or maybe you're an OG, doesn't matter. Self-custody is one of the best models out there, and also a way to diversify assets. So just for safety's sakes, use our link. It's going to give you a little bit of a discount. Is it hard? You know, it seems like it's very complicated. It's not with Tangem. Just click that link. You guys can get started. All right, let's go into a couple of things I want to lead off with before we bring on our guest. And if you look at them, they're at the top of the leaderboard right here on the league table. You can kind of see that total value, 350 bill. And if you look at the represented versus distributed, DeFi versus, you know, we'll see. Some interesting things that we want to break down with the CEO and founder of Canton. Now, the Bankless guys did an interview with them already, and I wanted to play a couple of clips to kind of set the stage. Take a look.
You know, Canton, it shows represented asset value of 380 billion, like 380 billion is bigger than all of the stable coins on public crypto network.
It is not rational to think that a CEO of a $30 billion company would gamify numbers to get some attention on a website. For what benefit? Like, for what?
All right, so when you look at DeFi Llama, and we'll just kind of take a look here. I'm just going to pull up Canton real quick. And as you can see, Canton not showing up there. So I think the point that Ryan was trying to make there, when you look at where Canton is and the valuation, is the question mark. I don't think it was a bad question, but I think, you know, the answer, if you look at it, you look at the history of all things financial, the number one reason people do these things is money. You know, that's the number one reason. So hopefully we'll be able to drill down into that, clear the air with them, and kind of get into it. If you take a look at the top leaderboard here on CoinMarketCap, I'm just going to go down here to Canton, and if you look at where they are, let me kind of see if I can zoom in on that a little bit for you guys. You'll notice right there, I'm kind of scrolling across, right there's the volume, which is 12 mil. In comparison to some of the other top chains that are in here, if you look at the top 30, that is a big deal. I think these are questions that everybody has to answer. Charles Hoskinson came on, talking about, I love it when legacy finance comes together with Canton and try to build what XRP and Midnight are already doing at scale. They never learn, blah, blah, blah. And then, of course, you go after what the next component was, which was a clip here talking about how Canton maybe compares to next generation, you know, technology. Take a look.
But now, like, you're coming into our world. You're doing the Blockwork sponsorships. You're on the CoinGecko page, marketing it to our industry, which we value the cypherpunk maximalism of Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Yeah. So first of all, I would say that I had to bet that if I had to put a polymarket bet on do you listen to music on Napster or Spotify, I'm pretty sure that I can make the right bet of where you listen to music.
Hey, how you doing? Al here. It's my understanding that I had over 80 million streams on Spotify this year. So if I'm doing the math right, that means I earned $12. So from the bottom of my heart, thanks for your support and thanks for the sandwich.
They just sent me some shit from Spotify where I got 1 billion streams, right? That shit wasn't even $45,000.
That's crazy. That is fucking crazy.
Well, let me tell you the thing that worked with me. It was simple. It was transparency.
All right, you know, Snoop's got it right. Transparency, that's one of the biggest things. And when you look at where Spotify, this is a good example of it because tech that really kind of started what was going on in the world of Napster and MP3s. I mean, that was the precedence of where technology was going in terms of music streaming. You look at Spotify, it's a different world now. There is no transparency, and that I think is the concern that I think a lot of people have. So and again, this is something that people were kind of prodding me on Twitter to talk about Canton. So I put out a quote and a tweet, and it was, you know, a few people talked about it, but Yuval came on, rightly so, and said my post could not be more wrong. I'm far from what I claimed it is, and also I should try again. So we said, let's try again, and we're going to bring Yuval on to talk a little bit more about this. So Yuval Rooz coming in today. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Excellent, excellent. So we have a lot of questions. I want to get into a handful that kind of goes into it. First of all, when I go to DeFi Llama, why would it not be on there? What would be the reason?
Don't know, to be honest. I don't have an answer. Even in the XYZ example, I saw your interesting intro. This whole represented versus distributed. Yeah. Listen, I think that this industry, as every industry, has people that have ideas of what it should represent. We've seen the whole discussion about the Ethereum Foundation in the last few days. We have different approaches. Tempo launching, saying that it's permissionless, and now people are showing that you need to be permissioned to be a validator. Everybody has their own agenda, and at the end of the day, we are trying to solve a very specific problem, and that's what we're doing. We're not going to apologize for the work that we do and the partners that we work with, and at the end of the day, I believe that DeFi Llama eventually will show the assets that are on Canton and the activity that is happening there.
I mean, because that's a situation I think with DeFi Llama that you guys could probably work out, and get it narrowed down. How is Canton different from the many other institutional chains that are out there? What would you say, to really make it easy for our audience to understand, what really makes them different than the other chains that are popping up right now?
Why? First of all, I would start with, why do you call Canton an institutional chain?
Well, I think we can talk about that. That's what we think it is.
Oh, I mean, I understand that it's a good thing to call it. I mean, when you look at every L1 in the last few years, what have been their biggest announcement? Oh, I issued a money market fund with this big institution. Oh, I've done this integration with this big institution. I mean, that's what all of these L1s have celebrated. So I don't understand where you call a chain an institutional chain. It was actually started by a startup. We created the technology. There are 40 plus super validators. Not all of them are institutions, or to be honest, I don't even know how you define an institution. I think what we're trying to say by institution, it's the old guard of Wall Street. Well, actually, if you go and look at the list of super validators, most of them are not. So I'm just, again, trying to understand what makes a chain an institutional chain.
I would say the network, in terms of being able to have degens, we'll call it that. I mean, that's part of this market anyway. If you look at just a meme coins right now, I mean, we have a meme coin now listed as a commodity. So it's clear that there is a track for that. But what is the top meme coin on Canton?
We don't have a meme coin on Canton. What is that top meme coin on XRP?
There's hundreds on XRPL. Meme coins
what
available.
Is the top? Come on, Paul. I mean, what is the top meme
I'm not going to mention a meme. I'm not going to mention a meme coin.
Cool. I think that the point was made. What is the top meme coin on Avalanche? What is the top meme coin? I mean, we can keep on going.
The ones that I like, you're asking me to just list meme coins? All right. So
no, I'm saying what is the top? Because you ask what is a top. And I guess my point is there is no meme coin on Canton because maybe we as a community didn't necessarily prioritize having a meme coin. But if not having a meme coin makes us an institutional chain or a corp chain, then I'm accepting it. That's okay.
Okay. All right.
By the way, I don't have a problem with the definition. I just am trying to understand, what does the question insinuate?
Well, I think the market looks at an institutional chain differently than an open chain. An open chain is going to have networks that have these kind of things available all the time. Whether you look at XRP or you look at what's happening on Solana, Avalanche, any of those, all of which have kind of proven themselves to be open networks, or at least have the ability to go in that direction. So I think that's the point.
So I just want to clarify. If it was possible to launch a meme coin on Canton in a permissionless manner, then we would lose the definition of an institutional chain. Because I think that we have DEXs, we have prediction markets, we have other things that you would maybe associate more with the, degen economy. We just don't have a meme coin. So I'm just trying to understand, where is the definition?
So you're saying it's possible to launch a meme coin now on Canton Network?
100%.
Why haven't you done it?
Because we have other priorities. Again, maybe we should. Maybe listening
that would
to you.
answer a lot of questions. I think
Yeah,
what
listening
happens.
to you, maybe you're giving me ideas. Maybe we should, and maybe you've given me ideas. So maybe stay tuned.
All right. Well, okay. A meme coin coming to Canton. That would be. I think the guys from Bankless would probably be all over that for sure. Now that we know that these things are commodities, the likelihood is we're going to see an absolute explosion of it. So I think the market itself is going to speak, and they're going to want it to happen for sure. If you look at Avalanche, we'll go to Avalanche specifically for a couple of reasons. But if you look at Avalanche in general, how would you guys say, well, Canton is a better solution for something than, say, Avalanche?
Privacy. One.
Okay.
I think that Avalanche will market itself with its sub-networks. I think in their documentation, you could read that the way to move from one sub-network to another is using bridges, which in our opinion is not safe. In Canton, all transactions between any canton to any canton is fully composable as if you were on the same network. And I would say at a high level, those would be the two big differences.
Well, I mean, their private network is pretty solid. I think a lot of people are choosing Avalanche because of that, the capability of being able to launch their own network.
Private network does not imply privacy. So if you launch a private Ethereum chain, you just have a small subnet of participants that still have no privacy amongst themselves. So
when you and that has been, I think that privacy is a challenge. I think a lot of people look at every chain out there in terms of privacy. You're saying that Canton is a full privacy chain right now?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it's the only public chain that have privacy capabilities. We don't believe in a binary world. Either everything is privacy or everything is public. You could have things that are public on Canton and you could have things that are private on Canton. So it's the only chain that has privacy capabilities. It is not all privacy chain.
Yeah, so all right, so let's look at the validators, and I'm trying to understand it. But my question, when you have a validator in here, whether it's a super validator or not, can they look in on transactions?
It really depends how the smart contract have defined who's allowed to see what. So on Canton, it's not that everything is private or not by definition. The smart contract designates what information is public for people to see and what is private.
So who would be allowed to become a super validator?
Anyone.
There's 13 standalone right now. You're saying that these are not institutional clients that are doing this?
I mean, Angel Hack from Asia, to the best of my knowledge, are not one of the biggest players in Wall Street. They are a company that does hackathons and developer education. So, I mean, that's just one example, maybe to call out. There's
that's
a few
one
other,
of 13. Why are there so
No,
few?
13 are 13 people that operate super validators. There's some that co-run multiple super validators on the same node, and there are over 40 of them.
Why would they not be listed here then?
Some of these super validators co-run the other super validators. So what you're seeing are the 13 operators of super validators. Proof Group is not a bank. If I even look at your list, MPCH is not a bank.
Digital Asset 1 and 2, are those you guys?
Yes, I run Digital
all right.
Asset.
So you have 11.
Not 11. Again, you're going to keep on saying that, and I'm going to keep
13.
correcting
I'm
you.
just
Listen, Paul.
We're not trying to hijack you here. This is out there. This is general research.
Cool. So do you want to go to the Canton Foundation where they list all of the super validators?
Happy to. What is the website? Help us out here.
Network.
So I'm looking to become a super validator. What is the process that PBN would need to take? Here's where I can get in and start accessing the program. So here's the 40 that you're talking about. Is that right?
The 40, the validators?
Yeah. All right. So these are the 40 validators. Some of them are running multiple nodes within one validator, even though it's registered as a single validator. But what's the process that I would take to get on as a validator right now? If Barron Capital says we want to come in and do one, how would we do that?
So every network decides what is the threshold to be a full node, right?
Okay.
In Ethereum, I think it requires 32 ETH. On XRP, I don't even know what it requires to be a node. I'm not saying that there is no, I just don't know what it is. On Solana and Sui and others.
What is it on Canton, though?
No, I'm trying to explain to you.
Okay.
So those networks have selected to have money as a way to become a full node. On Canton, we decided that contribution to the network is a better mechanism to decide if you should become a full node. So Paul
What do you
can
mean by
write,
contribution? What does that mean?
I'm getting there, I promise, Paul.
Okay.
Paul will write a SIP, which is a Canton improvement proposal, where he will say, look, I'm Paul Barron. I run the best show in crypto. I have a dedicated list of people that listen. I think I can add a lot of value to the network by grilling Yuval, for example.
Yep.
And I think that if I am going to do a series of education, I'm going to do continuous research, that adds tremendous value to the network. And therefore, I should become one of the validators on the network. And if the network, which are 40 plus super validators, 2/3 of them will vote in favor, a decentralized process will vote you in favor, voila, you're a super validator, just like that. You wouldn't have to stake $30-40 million to do that.
Yeah. Well, I think, the thing I think when you look at, this seems like a good old boys club, which is kind of Wall Street. Yeah, I mean, that's Wall Street right now. That if you want to get in on hedge funds, you've got to kind of get accepted into those hedge funds. The same kind of thing happens there.
I think you're mistaking. I think you're mistaking something because I think that to get in a hedge fund, you need to have a lot of money, which is kind of equivalent to become a full node on some of these chains. You need to have a lot of money to become a full node. So I think you're mistaking because, like I said, most of the people that are super validators on Canton are not some of those old guard that you keep on saying. So I'm just saying, like, I think that maybe you are mistaken and you're getting the order incorrectly, that actually some of these crypto networks that keep on talking about decentralization have put quantums of money that are not available to the average person to participate as a validator. Where on Canton,
I know, but come on, you would not accept the average person into
I just gave you Angel Hack, which is a great startup out of Asia that has been building hackathon and trying to bring education to the ecosystem.
That's not an average. It's not an average company. Anybody, not Angel Hack. The guy next door who has 32 ETH can get a validator. Okay, I don't have to be Angel Hack, or I don't have to be PBN. The
guy next
crypto.
Door does not on average. The guy next door does not on average have 32 ETH, first of all, and second
we
of
have
all,
a lot of audience members that hold 32 ETH.
Perfect.
For sure.
I'm not
for sure.
I didn't say like you want to corner me into a yes or no, black and white. And the reality is that Send is a wallet out of the West Coast that was an early adopter and became a super validator. You know what? Give me one bank again from Wall Street that is a super validator. Please do.
One bank? The problem with banks, my point is one bank right now.
Give me one bank that is a super validator on Canton.
There's probably, I don't know, there is none. Because they're not going to do it until they have a Clarity Act come through to where they can actually.
You're mistaken, but let's park that aside. But you keep on trying to put that this is a Wall Street corp chain, and I'm asking you, what is the ratio of Wall Street corp chains that are running a super validator on Canton? Because you did your research.
I don't think it has to be a Wall Street corp chain, because remember, we're talking about very specific companies that, of course, line up in these 40 validators.
Can you tell me? Can you tell me who are the validators on all of those great other L1s that you're saying are accessible for everyone?
Well, actually, you can if you go in. The chain is transparent enough to where we can pull that down.
I'm pretty sure that you're going to see that these are actually a lot of very large financial institutions.
There would definitely be some in there, for sure. But that does not make a decentralized chain a Wall Street corp chain.
Correct. And all I said is that Canton, I would say, is actually much more fairly distributed across both large-scale institutions and some that are not.
All right. Okay. Well, you have your position. I have mine. I think it feels different.
What is your position, though?
My position is it looks very centralized. It looks like a Wall Street corp chain.
But again, you say Wall Street. Where is the Wall Street?
When I say Wall Street, I'm talking about TradFi.
Where do you see the TradFi ratio? Again, you claim that you did the research for this. Where is the Wall Street ratio? No, seriously. Like, I mean, if we were going to throw words like research, we're going to throw words like Wall Street model, ratio. I just want you. Now, I think that maybe where you're mistaking, Paul, is that a lot of Wall Street companies use the technology. And I know that is very annoying.
That's normal. I think
Really?
that's normal. Yeah, of course. Okay. I mean, we are seeing a transition into, I think, the next era of finance, and there is no way that Wall Street's going to be left out of this. You already see this with what BlackRock is doing. You already see this with every major fund out there. Obviously, we've seen it now with what's going on with the CFTC and the SEC clarifying 16 assets as commodities. So all of this is going that direction.
They didn't
so
clarify
we
16
understand.
assets as commodities. Again, if you did your research, you would see there's a language that says such as and gave examples of 16 assets. They actually came up with a very clear definition that, in my opinion, if we were to put the SEC on this panel, they would say the list is significantly longer than 16.
Well,
so
course,
the actual text is, if we're saying that we're going to be clear and specific, then let's just be clear and specific. They came with a definition of what is a commodity and specifically said such as, meaning gave an example of a list of names that would fit that definition.
For sure, absolutely. Any project out there could eventually become a commodity if they apply to those rules, for sure.
Or already are a commodity, is my point.
Yeah, and there's probably several, dozen to hundreds of projects out there that could qualify for that right now. All right, so we're going to get into our lightning round with you. It's where I would land and it's where you would land, okay, in terms of questions. So we'll start off with the first one, and that would be that the DTCC is the ultimate enemy of retail. This is especially after GameStop.
The DTCC is the ultimate enemy? A non-profit, the DTCC, GameStop? I mean, come on. GameStop was a mismanagement of risk, not by the DTCC. The DTCC operated just fine. The DTCC actually provides quite a lot of scale and efficiency to the U.S. equity market.
All right, so you say no. That was a major snafu in the system when we started to see the halting of trading. The DTCC was the one in control of that, so...
Again,
Paul,
Paul,
again, Robinhood was the culprit, but that was the key.
Robinhood halted trading. The DTCC did not halt trading. That is just factually incorrect. The DTCC has nothing to do with trading. The DTCC is a settlement system and it's a clearinghouse. If you want to say that the ultimate enemy of trading is clearinghouses, I'm happy to have a longer debate. Okay, well good. Then let's just be clear. Don't call the DTCC the ultimate enemy, because that is just, first of all, incorrect.
Is it a more trusted counterparty risk than, say, XStocks or Kraken for tokenomics? What do you think?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, so you're yes on that. The new era of finance is changing, and a lot of people are having a problem with that. DTCC Canton.
I think you're asking your question as a more trusted counterparty. Again, I'll remind your listener, the DTCC is a nonprofit owned by the industry. And you said that is less trusted than a single company. I think that game theory, Paul, will disagree with you.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, you'd have to throw Zell
Not just
in that
Yuval,
bag.
by the way. I think that just generally speaking, game theory will disagree with you. We're in this world where we say decentralization reduces risk, and you're literally asking me, is a decentralized member-owned industry nonprofit is a less trustworthy counterparty than a single company? Those two companies that you said are great companies, to be clear, but they are maximizing revenue, and the DTCC is a nonprofit. So again, I just find it very odd that you would disagree with me on that, independently of the companies that you just stated, just the structurally.
All right. Okay. Well, the idea is it's not a debate on the lightning round. The idea is we just want to know where you stand. That's all. DTC and CC and Canton are currently advocating for the kill switch on DeFi. Do you think that is happening?
I don't think I know that it's no.
Okay, you're saying no. I don't know. I'm just asking you. If it is, I'll go with that. I don't know if it is or not, but I know this is that nobody wants a kill switch in DeFi. That I can assure you of when it comes down to it.
Really? Really?
Yeah.
Including
Yes.
the DeFi that when hacks happen, they go to court. Is that a kill switch?
If it is a kill switch, then we have failed decentralized finance.
But what about the DeFis that went to court? What about the DAO hack? Do you agree that Ethereum should have forked after the DAO hack?
All right. Well, we could get
No
into
comment.
that. That's a new one.
What about
I
my
like that
lightning
one.
round to you, Paul?
I think the bankless guys would be good at that.
Why? Oh, you
Because
claim innocence of the bankless guys only when it's convenient? I'm asking you.
No. Our situation
You
is we
said
don't bank.
nobody wants a kill switch. I'm asking.
I don't think anybody
When-
wants a kill switch. I know I don't
Well,
want
I'm
a kill
asking.
switch.
When Sui got hacked and they forgot about it, did you make a stink about it?
I'm not going down that direction, but that sounds like a conversation we should probably have.
Got it.
All right, so let's go into this. If ETH, XRPL, Solana, Cardano add native privacy, is Canton just now doesn't matter? Because these would be huge chains out there adding native privacy.
Could you add a few more derogatory comments before the chain? But if they add it with a clear question, if with
That
a
is,
big capital,
if is the key word. Yep.
yeah, but you should capitalize it and put a lot of like exclamation and make it bold. Then Canton is another very unique chain. But yeah, like all of them, if all the features are the same, then what differentiates all of them? So, it's just kind of a silly question.
All right. Well, we like to have fun, Yuval, here on PBS.
I'm having fun. This is actually very fun. I like to educate you.
I haven't been educated yet, but okay. Canton has 7 TPS. Is this true or false?
Maybe you should be more specific, like 7.798. No, it's just false.
False. Okay. All right. Interesting. Let me know, guys, out there on the internet. Do your thing. Are we going down the wrong direction here with 7 TPS on this or not? Here's the token: 6 billion market cap, 11 million in volume. A 50% supply dilution incoming. Hold and pray.
A what?
A 50% supply dilution incoming, coming down the pipe. Is that true or no?
Not true.
Not true. No 50 million.
Did you do your research on the fact that all of the super validators and apps locked all of 70% of their holdings?
There you go. Then they're on hold. All right.
I'm not praying though, so that's not my answer. I'm just holding.
Okay, you're going to hold. We'll put hold. I like that. All right. I'm sure that the internet is going to do their thing on this one for sure. DTCC will leave Canton like Coinbase left Optimism. They're going to do their own thing.
I don't agree with any of those answers, so you need to leave me at the bottom.
Impossible.
I didn't say impossible. Everything is possible.
Everything. Okay, everything's possible. All right. Canton is going to partner with Palantir, surveil all the boomers. We pull no punches.
What?
We just have fun.
Tell me how many assets have been frozen on Canton?
I don't know. How many have been frozen? You must have an answer there. 0.
Do you want me to answer how many assets have been frozen on Ethereum and other chains?
Well, how long have you guys been around?
Well, enough to be for assets to be frozen. But I guess when you don't have privacy, a lot of assets can be frozen on a lot of assets. So.
Okay, after this, I'm going to more likely to recommend every company that build on Canton versus any other chain. You think I'm going to recommend building on Canton now?
I think you like me. You like us more. So I don't know if hell yes, but slightly yes.
Slightly yes. I'm going to be in the no camp, I think, right now. But I'm open. I am never closed off to ideas.
No, but my question is, are you in the hell no camp? Right? I actually changed it into slightly yes.
All right. There we go. Slightly yes.
And you're still in the hell no.
I'm still in the hell no camp. But I am open, as always, to looking at any project because things change. So when things change, anything can happen, man. Anything can
I don't know if this lightning round have showed openness, but I get it. It's okay. I appreciate the comment.
Yeah, well, the point with lightning round, of course, is to have fun, really, at the end of the day. Listen, Yuval, we're going to be watching Canton. You know where I stand. I think, it's just you have a lot more inside information than I have. But maybe I should become a validator so I would have that information and then be able to make a much better, conclusion and
Put in
decision
your
for sure.
application, and we would love to vote on
Well,
it.
now I've got the website where I can do that. So, you may get one from, Barron Capital. You never know.
Yeah.
All right. Yuval, it's been great having you on the show today. Thank you so much for coming in. We appreciate it.
Thank you for the entertainment.
You bet. If you like this video, hit like and subscribe, drop a comment down below, and also join our free private member group. The link is in the description.